Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. We're all here and Ziad is late and that is why the show was late. Everyone was here on time. There's only one guy that is not on time. He doesn't even have his camera on, as you can see in front of you on the screen. Of course, it's the Chelsea fan after the embarrassing loss yesterday. Of course, for Chelsea from Flamengo 3-1, where Maresca's in like trying stuff. But listen, this is not what the show is about. Hit that like button, people, if you are here. We got Ahmed with a wife beater because it's too hot in Manchester. Of course, we got Ryan with a new haircut and a new trim. Big up Ryan for being here. We got Matthias here, back in, of course, Man City, and saying that the title is Man City's until no one else is having a Man City. And Mac, where I believe that Mac is most calm, composed. Okay, it's okay. Sorry, Mac. The second most calm and composed Liverpool fan after Jamie Phillips. Can we just establish this? No one is calmer than Jamie. Jamie sits on the show, says the stuff. Absolutely. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button, guys, if you're here. Zizo with a fucking wife beater as well.
Bro, it's hot,
my God. It's so hot. Like these. Okay, I got, to be honest with you guys, I'm from Egypt. I live in America, right? I have 5 guys that live in the UK. All of you guys don't know what heat is. None of you know what heat is. Probably it's like 25 degrees in the UK now, like 30 degrees. And you guys are complaining. It was 44 this morning.
You have
in
18.
Cairo.
We don't have AC.
Yeah, but as I say, that's the difference. In the UK, the houses here are built to keep the heat in. We don't have aircon.
Yeah.
So it's worse for us because it's continuous.
Okay, fair enough.
The houses here are designed for winter. Generally, not for summer.
Before anyone asks me, guys, I didn't watch the Inter game.
I'm not gonna lie, Mo. We don't know heat like you, mate. Okay, we don't know heat like that. And that
Texas.
is serious heat.
You wanna have heat? Texas.
Yeah,
you can fry an egg. You can fry an egg on the pavement. Literally, just put the egg in, fry the egg. But big up everybody that is here. Conversation. People in the chat before you ask me. Wallahi, I didn't watch the game. I was out with my wife, to be honest with you. I don't know any player in Urawa Red, with all due respect to them. I didn't watch any game other than one game, which is Al Ahly game earlier in the tournament. But that was about it. I didn't watch any game. I didn't even watch the Chelsea game yesterday. So I really, when Man City play Boca Juniors later or Man City play Chelsea, I'll watch. If Inter play, I will watch later, but not now. I'm not watching the games. I'm not wasting my summer where I worked all the season, every day, content, day and night, to literally just waste my time watching a tournament that has 10 fans in the stadium, 10 people watching the games. I'm not doing that, broski. But listen to the news. Zubimendi confirmed for Arsenal. Hussam paid his respect to Zubimendi in a short, saying that he rejected Liverpool. He could have been a champion with Liverpool, but he chose Arsenal, of course. Chelsea, a lot of people are criticizing Lampard. What's his name? Palmer yesterday. I said Lampard because of the amount of goals he scored. Palmer yesterday. Chelsea are about to go in for another goalkeeper at the end of the window, as Fabrizio Romano tweeted. Manchester City, a lot of people are doubting Cherki now. They're saying that Cherki is not as good as they thought. And Man City got scammed with Cherki. But Wirtz is Wirtz. You know what I mean? Wirtz is Wirtz. And, okay, let me ask the Man United fan. Ahmed, okay. Guys, can we get to 100 likes? There's about 300 people in the house who just started the show. Ahmed, I'm just going to ask a question. Who has the best midfield in the league? Not Man United, of course. You're not going to say that. You don't like Ugarte, you don't like Bruno. So, who has the best midfield in the league out of the 4 teams? Let me give you the combinations. Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, Cherki, or Foden, Reinders and Rodri, Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch, or Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo. Basically. Who has the best midfield?
Unfortunately, it's probably Liverpool's. Probably say Liverpool's midfield. I think Liverpool. It's close between Liverpool or Chelsea, but I would say Liverpool. They've got a good balance.
Why are you saying Liverpool? Have you watched Wirtz play enough football for you to say?
I've not watched.
Who do you think is better, Zubimendi or Gravenberch?
Zubimendi or Gravenberch? I'd say Gravenberch is a better player than Zubimendi, but Zubimendi is still a decent player. But Gravenberch is I think Gravenberch has got more to his game than Zubimendi. Like,
really?
I think on the ball, like his passing ability, his quality, he's got
not his passing ability. I don't think he's a better passer.
I think Gravenberch has got a good pass on him. I think Gravenberch has got a really good pass on him. I think Zubimendi, in terms of like making it tick, one touch, like free, like that. I think he's good at that. But in terms of as an all-rounder, I think Gravenberch has got way more to his game. I think he's got way more to his game.
Way more to his game.
Yeah, I would say he's got more to his game, Gravenberch, as a player. Yeah, I would say so. But that's not to say that Zubimendi is not a good player. Like Zubimendi's good, but I think Gravenberch is just better. And he's also played as well. He's played in Ajax. He's played in Bayern Munich as well. He's played at Liverpool, so he's obviously proven at a top level. We're yet to see how Zubimendi. Of course, you can say that he's played in the Euros. He's played for Spain, and he's done well there. But Spain, like, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm gonna take this round. Matthias, excluding Man City, who do you think have the best midfield? Ziad, can you join us?
It's a tough one. I'll still go with the team that just won the league, Liverpool. That's just, I feel like they've got a good combinations in terms of they know what to do on the football pitch. They understand each other. And McAllister is the big difference in their midfield for me. He's an absolute monster. And I've watched the guy in the last World Cup when they played for Argentina. I think he got benched in the first couple of games. Then as soon as the manager made the change in terms of bringing on McAllister and Julian Alvarez, we saw a complete Argentina team, complete different. And he just does the same for Liverpool. And Gravenberch, we didn't see much of him when Klopp was there. Obviously, I don't think Klopp trusted him to play the whole midfield role. But as soon as Slot came in, we could see that what a player he is. That now they brought in Wirtz. I know some Liverpool fans, they don't like Szoboszlai, but I think Szoboszlai he's a very good player. For me, Liverpool is still the best. Arsenal is there, but they lack creativity. Sorry.
Say Szoboszlai is very good.
Yeah, I like Szoboszlai. I think he's a good player. For me. And Arsenal, they lack a bit of creativity. Chelsea, that midfield three, whoever you put in there, it just doesn't move me at all. So I would still go with
I think you're the only one on YouTube that say that.
And I feel like I feel like the way the way he tries to use Enzo Fernandez is just, I don't know, man. I feel like he's trying to use him as in that box-to-box position, or sometimes he uses him as a number 10. It feels like he doesn't know what to do with Enzo at times, where Caicedo is...
Enzo has been very good this season. He scored he had the same GA as McAllister this season, if I'm not mistaken. And so, okay,
but
Enzo Fernandez.
If you look at the games they played last season where they were just getting battered off the park, you didn't see much of that midfield, did you? Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
And we played them home and away, and in one of our worst seasons in the last 10 years, and we still slapped them with 34-year-old Gundo in there, and Bernardo Silva, who just runs for 90 minutes, not really doing anything, and a Kovacic. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see them. And listen, on paper, you can see, they can say, that's a very decent midfield. But when you see them play together, not so sure.
I think that midfield for me is the best in the league. Okay, I'm going to give my opinion. I think the Chelsea midfield, for me, as of now, is the best in the league, right? On paper. Performances-wise, I actually still think they are the best in the league. The reason why, they create the most, they score the most. Yes, they concede a lot of goals, but Caicedo has been the best DM in the league this season, right? Once Diaz inhales his food, he's going to talk to us about Chelsea, right? And that midfield. I actually think they're the best midfield at the current moment in the league. Until Odegaard comes back and until we see Zubimendi translate what he does with Spain to the league, I don't think Arsenal is there. However, there is a very, very good argument that was put the other day about Arsenal, that the Arsenal midfield against all the top teams, they don't lose a midfield battle. They never lose the midfield battle. However, Arsenal midfield have the lowest in terms of creativity. Arsenal midfield don't create. They lack creativity a lot, and that's because of Odegaard. However, adding Zubimendi is there, that will add a lot. That will free Odegaard, that will free Rice more. Because Zubimendi is someone that does a lot of work off the ball in terms of collecting, creating angles to his team.
Yeah, but they've got that in Thomas Partey.
The thing about Matthias is you are relying so much on Rodri coming back, being the best midfielder in the league, that you're assuming that your midfield is the best just because you have Rodri, right? But Rodri had an ACL.
Yeah.
So did Van Dijk, and he's still solid.
Van Dijk, the year after Van Dijk got the ACL, it took him.
Remember
Van Disney? You remember Van Disney?
I think
it took him time.
By the way, I don't think Liverpool's is the best midfield.
Who do you think is
in the league? I think Newcastle's is.
No, they lack a creativity there.
Midfield in the league.
Tonali and Guimaraes are good. Yeah, but Tonali and Guimaraes are good, but they lack the third guy.
They destroy every midfield in games. They destroyed ours. They've done it to Arsenal's. You can sit there and go, Arsenal's is great, Chelsea's is great. Newcastle have done all our midfields. They've won all the battles in all the midfields against all the best teams.
Yeah, defensively they're solid.
They're all animals.
I think when just answering to Mo's question,
it's a cohesive midfield. They really play well with each other. And Bruno Guimaraes is just, geez. I think much more lyrical about that guy. Two players.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the problem is, I agree with Judge Mo when he says even Newcastle's midfield lack creativity, but the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali for me is one of my favorite players.
They've got quite a few goals, by the way, this season. Those two.
He's a
it's just Joelinton. Joelinton doesn't score enough, but he gets enough chances.
Yeah, and when you watch Italy, when you have a midfield of Barella and Tonali, it's just a mad combination of them two. Tonali is a baller. See, the problem when Judge Mo asked me about the Man City midfield, listen, what we have to do this season is not to in order to get the best out of Rodri, is to not put too much pressure on him. He just came from a long-term injury, and I don't think there will be any need for him to play week in, week out, to start every 3 days, because when you look at the transfer window, we've done the last 2 transfer window. We kind of brought in a whole midfielder in Nico Gonzalez, but we also brought in a good midfielder and an experienced midfielder in Reinders who can support that midfield, and hopefully Phil Foden can come back to his form. I watch, he looks okay now. When I watched him in the first game of the Club World Cup, he looks like a different player. Hopefully he can come back to his best, because when Foden are at his best, then the team performs and he wins football matches. Cherki, still early days. He only played his only first game. He just arrived at the football club. He's playing for a complete different manager. He's in a complete different team, a different philosophy, where he's got a massive job. But I think that the good thing about Cherki is he doesn't have a price tag on him. It costs 33 million. So do you know what I mean? He shouldn't have that much pressure for him to perform. He just takes it slow.
That's how much Mo Salah costs. That's still a price
Yeah,
tag.
yeah. At the end of the day, if
Maybe
he
not for Man
doesn't,
City, but it's still a price tag.
at the end of the day, if he doesn't hit bad digits, I don't think he's going to be bumping.
Didn't Foden last year have personal problems, and that's the reason for his form?
Yeah. He had an illness as well. He was quite ill. He was in and out of the team constantly.
Ryan, you haven't said a word about anything.
No, I mean, I think from the selections you gave, I'd say because Liverpool champions are, Liverpool will have the best midfield until further notice. Zubimendi, as much as I'm excited to see him come to Arsenal, we don't know how quick he's going to adapt to Premier League from La Liga and implement how he does for his national team. If he does, and by coming in and allowing Rice to push forward and unlocking Odegaard again, we can be one of the best midfielders. But until then, we can't really have that conversation with us. But as I say, Liverpool, because they're the defending champions, and with Gravenberch, it took him a year to settle and adjust himself to Premier League life. We only saw the best of him first half of last season, or this season just gone. I was like, Newcastle ain't got the creativity, but I say they're second best. Based on
hold on.
Based
If
on
Newcastle have
the defensive side of things, because they're so solid. They are. No matter who they play against, the City last season, City, Liverpool, they gave Liverpool. Look how quick, how easy Liverpool went on to win the league. But when it came to Newcastle, Liverpool, be it in the cup final or in the league, they gave Liverpool the fight of their lives. The 3-3 draw, the cup final itself.
Yeah, you can't count the Anfield game, because Eddie Howe literally said he forfeited that game for the final. Yeah, because he wanted to see how Liverpool played.
Basically, if we're saying that Newcastle,
he gave up the midfield.
We're saying that Newcastle is the best.
In that game.
Newcastle is the best, and they have Isak up top, and they have Gordon on the left. Newcastle then must challenge for the league next season. And if you all are talking like this, and they have,
I think we're overrating Newcastle so much.
No, it's the midfield.
Like I said, no, but their midfield, they do the job. They work hard off the ball, well done. But they're not the best. Like the other teams, like Chelsea and Man City, possess way more quality, way more.
But they haven't beaten Newcastle's midfield. That's the whole point.
But we're talking about but you're talking about
Newcastle how they play every game against the best midfields that you are talking about have dominated their midfields.
Judging it on head to head,
they've got a better midfield.
They don't.
By the way, if you judge it on head to head, Arsenal have been the best midfield in the league for the last 3 years. Then
they didn't dominate us because we drew at St. James Park 1-1 in a game where we were the better team, and the referee just done a madness with the penalty.
If we are arguing this,
and we won at the Etihad.
Midfield, it's not about the head-to-head. It is never about head-to-head.
But more when you say, oh, is the Newcastle going to win the league now? No, to win the league, although they have a very solid midfield, a very good midfield, but to win the league title, you have to have depth.
Can I ask you something?
So that's what they don't have.
Is Gravenberch? Let me ask you guys, everyone in the chat and you guys, is is Bruno Guimaraes better than Moises Caicedo?
No chance, no way near.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
On his
He
day.
is.
Bruno Guimaraes is better than Caicedo.
Yeah,
On his day, yeah.
Are we-
Caicedo is starting to become very
listen,
underrated, man.
I know it's really hot here, but are we trolling here? Like
No,
seriously,
really not.
come on
really
now.
not.
Let's be honest.
Let's be
now,
serious, man.
Let's be serious.
No, yeah, he
Caicedo,
is.
yeah.
He's
Caicedo.
a bit
If
I'm not
Rodri
looking at-
comes back, yeah.
don't get me wrong, I'm not
If
slagging off
Rodri-
Caicedo. He's a great midfielder.
Bruno-
But
what I'm
Bruno
saying
is
is-
I'd rather
better
have
than
Bruno in
Declan
my
Rice.
midfield.
Well, what I'm saying,
Give me
Better
the
than
choice.
every
the only
other
player
defensive
in his
midfielder in
position.
the league.
the only player in his position. Listen, Rodri's still world class. Yeah, he's had the big injury, but he's still a world class DM. He's still technically the best in his position. The only player that is close is Caicedo, in it. Like there isn't
no chance.
No.
bro.
No.
I'm saying Rodri's a better player than him, but Caicedo is still a top player. Bruno
Caicedo
Guimaraes.
can't do what Rodri does. Caicedo
I'm not
can't do
saying he
what
can do that.
Bruno
I'm not saying he
Guimaraes
can do
does.
that.
It's a better
Bro,
midfielder,
what
mate.
Bruno Guimaraes can do, yeah, Caicedo can do that and more. He can win the ball back. He's good on the tackle. Physically, he's solid.
Guimaraes.
He's better on the ball as well. Caicedo's better on the ball than Bruno Guimaraes.
No, he's not. No,
He
he's
is.
not.
No,
He is.
no,
No, he
no.
isn't.
Bruno Guimaraes is better driving the ball
Bruno
forward.
Guimaraes is just a bro.
Caicedo.
He's just
Caicedo
a bully.
can't drive the
Completely
ball
run
forward.
games from midfield. Guimaraes.
Nah, I'm not buying this Bruno Guimaraes thing. He's not. He's not. He's nowhere near better than
Okay.
Caicedo. Nowhere near.
Okay.
Nah, like
I'd
what's
love him
it
in
like?
my team.
But it's a preference thing. But if we're talking them as players, and if you actually assess their quality,
I think Manchester City wanted him at one stage, and Arsenal.
Yeah. Who wouldn't take Bruno Guimaraes right now?
Every single team would take him.
Arsenal, would you take Bruno Guimaraes right now to start in your midfield?
All
Or
day
would you
long.
take
What
Caicedo?
we're doing.
I'd rather
Bruno
Bruno.
Guimaraes doesn't stop
My
for
personal
Bruno
preference is
Guimaraes doesn't
I'd
stop
rather
City,
Bruno.
Liverpool, or
Hold
Chelsea.
on.
Yeah, Bruno. Liverpool.
We're-
Would
so
you take
we're
Bruno
just sitting
Caicedo
here.
right now?
We're gonna sit here and say that as a DM, Bruno Guimaraes is better than Caicedo.
That's one of the worst opinions I've heard in a long time.
That's my opinion.
Of
That's my
course.
personal.
Yeah.
What I watch both, and I would prefer with what we do in our system have someone like Bruno in there.
I would take Bruno as well.
Yeah, I'd take Bruno.
There you go. It's the end of the conversation.
No one likes Caicedo
That's
because he plays for
Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal. It was one.
I don't know if it's because
Two and three in the
Caicedo.
league.
For the
Listen,
last 4 years.
It doesn't matter about the others. That's 1, 2, and 3 in the league.
That is astonishing, you know that, right? Like I'm really amazed.
It's
Do you not
bamboozled.
think that just a question for the Arsenal fan? Do you not think that letting Partey go on a free is a very big loss for Arsenal?
Okay, that's a different topic,
Okay.
Matthias. You're changing the topic.
Come back to
You're
that later.
changing the topic on your own.
No,
That is
but
different. We'll
talk
talk about that. We'll talk about. I need to do let me run the show. I need to do super chat. Big up everyone that I
about
support Arsenal. Like our midfield is bang average. Okay, big up my man, Mr. Iguana, saying kudos is made for that Newcastle right wing spot. Oh yeah, if Newcastle get kudos and they get a centre back, yeah, maybe Newcastle should challenge for the league next season. Maybe kudos, Isak, Gordon, maybe they should with Jacob Murphy. And
come on, you're being a bit disingenuous to Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, he is.
He was unbelievable last season.
Absolute
Jacob
workhorse,
Murphy is
that,
great.
Seriously? Just dump him.
Virgil van Dijk was actually good in 21-22 season right after the ACL. We conceded just 26 goals. It was the quad season, 22-23 season, where he was shit. Van Disney. Okay, big up Rildano Franga for telling us. So Rodri next season is going to come back and instantly he's the best midfielder in the league.
This is the
Yes.
thing. Everyone comes back. We've seen it with other players as well. When they get ACLs, they come back different. It's how they come back is different to others. No one player is going to come back the same. And with his age as well, against him, Rodri,
Yeah, but
it's going to be much
Age.
like a bit more.
What
Rodri
age?
age.
Do you know that Rodri is 26?
Yeah, but
I know you
20
have been watching him
He's
for a
28.
while.
He's
Rodri
not
is
fucking
20.
clever.
He's in
He's
his
28.
20s.
No, but
Yeah, it's 28. Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
still,
but
he's
he's 28,
very
going on
good age.
29. But his age, when I say his
I
age,
still hate the fact he's not
probably
over
going to take
30
longer
yet.
to recover from. And yes, you've brought in 2 other DMs now to hopefully fill that void at the start of the season, so it eases him back in. But that I wouldn't expect him to be fully back to himself until the later stages of the next season, basically. So you start seeing the old Rodri.
There is
But
no
some man-
expectation for him
some
to
Man City
perform
fans out
straight
there are going to
away.
expect him to be on it straight away.
Well, there's no expectation there's not. We can't expect him to be at his best straight away, and we
I
won't
know
expect.
that, but
It
there
takes
will be
time.
fans out there expecting it when they don't see
Yeah,
it.
but I think we've
That
got
makes it
enough
Stupid.
players out there that can actually just win us football matches without having to rely on Rodri.
Oh,
That's
which
the
who are
difference.
these players?
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
difference with
Sorry,
Van Dijk.
sorry.
We didn't have
Sorry,
anyone.
Sorry. Who are these players that can win you matches on their own? Can you tell me, Matthias?
They won't win the match on their own. I said there's enough cover in there that can help us to win football matches without
okay.
Rodri having to be at his best.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of
which
course.
I've mentioned
Yeah,
that bring on Reinders in that, bring on. Then you've got the likes of Kovacic, Nico Gonzalez.
okay, I misheard you.
Yeah, there is enough cover in there that we can actually go through September, October, just easing Rodri to get him up to speed and not really much have to rely on. Just bring on whether the game is already won. Listen, there's no pressure on Rodri this season.
Is there any pressure on Man City this season anyway from anyone here?
There is.
And let me do one thing. Ridlan Taranga said VVD wasn't the 18-19 Virgil van Dijk, but he wasn't bad in 21-22. Fair enough. Guys, we have 500 people in the house.
Sorry.
Hold on. Can we get
I've got to put this to rest, man.
people? Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Right. 1 second. Guys, we need the likes up to at least 200 guys. Hit that like button underneath the live chat. Subscribe if you're new. Come on now, guys. Don't need to push the likes every 5 minutes. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. Can you stop the crap with Virgil van Dijk had a bad season? Virgil van Dijk's never had a bad season. Okay, he's never had a bad season. Like, you're comparing Virgil van Dijk against Virgil van Dijk. Like when he had the ACL and when he didn't have the ACL. Like, seriously, like, the guy's been absolutely incredible since the day we bought him. Okay, and he still is. Like stop this rubbish. Like, Virgil van Dijk had a bad season. He's never had a bad season.
I mean, he's had
Players around him might have, but he didn't.
He did. I remember there was one season that he was getting slower and wasn't the best.
Wasn't at fault for any goals. He didn't score any own goals. No,
but there was for one season, but I think it was
the crack around him, probably.
He did drop off to his standards. He did drop off
to his standards, and that's what I'm trying to say. To his standards, you're comparing him against him.
That's why we question, like, at that time, is he coming to the end? But obviously, since then, he's come back with abundance and bossed it. And fair play to him for doing it. I'm just saying.
Was the most pressure? Can I go back to the midfield? Yeah, because Ziad was eating. Can I go back to the midfield question again before we go on to the most pressure?
I mean, listen, on paper, Chelsea with Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, and Andrea Santos. I don't think you get better on that than paper, but it depends on what you want to talk about. On paper, yes, Chelsea, you can say have the best, but in terms of actually performing together as a midfield, it's probably Liverpool, with Gravenberch and McAllister. But to disrespect Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, it's mad. But that's fine. That's normal, because if Caicedo and Enzo performed like they did last season, but they were playing for Newcastle, and you just swap Bruno and Tonali and Bruno would be getting shot on for Chelsea, and then Caicedo and Enzo will be talking about how they're the best thing since sliced bread. But
that's absolutely
because he's at Chelsea and it's illegal for anyone to actually rate Chelsea players. Like, I don't see any rivals ever rate any Chelsea player, so it's pretty normal, bro. But yeah, it just depends how you want to. On paper, I don't think he gets better than Santos, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Lavia.
No one knows who Santos is.
Well, you're gonna know.
I was just about to ask who the fuck is Santos.
Okay, what's that? I'll explain it to you. I'll break it down for you. I'll break it down. I'll break it down. I'll tell you who he is.
I'm being honest with you.
You don't know who he is, so I'll break it down to you. For you.
There's a massive echo coming from someone, by the way. There's someone that has an echo that has the speaker on. There's a massive echo coming from somebody.
No echo, man.
Go ahead.
What was I gonna say?
I can hear an echo. There is an echo coming from someone's speaker, feeding back into the mic. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I was saying is Andrea Santos, whether you like it or not, was the best midfielder in the French league last season, best young midfielder. He's a player that every single club dreams of having, and I'll tell you why. Andre Santos has basically played 0 minutes for Chelsea, and every single top club is sniffing around him, whether he's going to leave or not. Because if he leaves Chelsea right now, he's going to a bigger and better club than Chelsea. And simple as that. So everyone can laugh about his name and all that rubbish, but he's a club that he's that good that he's literally saying, if you don't give me good enough minutes, I'll just go to a bigger, better club. And he's what? I don't know how old he is, 19, 20, whatever. So that gives you an idea of what gives you an idea of how good he is.
I actually I don't know who the guy is, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not disrespecting him, but I don't know.
You don't
him.
need to know who he is.
Did he go on loan?
Have
at
you watched
Palace?
him?
I don't know who he is.
Did he go on loan
Bro,
at Crystal Palace?
Bro, I'm just trying to figure
I'm
out.
sorry, who did he play last season? Was
this
that
guy?
who did he play for last season?
Strasbourg.
Nobody watches Strasbourg play.
That's
People
fine.
watch Lyon, people
You're going to
watch.
see him next season. And then
I guarantee you have not watched one Strasbourg game last season.
it doesn't matter.
You
It doesn't matter
yourself.
because
You
the
have
same
never
way.
watched one
because-
Strasbourg game last season.
You haven't.
You are going off comms. I'm telling you, Zizou. I love you, man. You're my younger brother. You have not watched one Strasbourg, and you cannot name one other Strasbourg player apart from the loanees from Chelsea. We all watch PSG, Lyon, maybe Marseille. Nobody sits down and watch Strasbourg play football. You do. You work full time and you watch Chelsea and you go to games to Chelsea and you watch the Premier League. Nobody from the Chelsea fans have sat down on their Saturday and Sunday and watched Strasbourg play football. I guarantee you this.
He watches down his lunch break.
So
I
listen,
know. Listen, I agree with you that
During his lunch break.
we watch Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Palmer. I agree with you. But to have the audacity to say that Andre Santos and mention that name, you didn't even mention Palmer in your midfield. You didn't even
I'm not
mention
talking about
Palmer in
in
your
my
midfield.
midfield, man. I'm talking about Palmer in my midfield. I'm talking about, listen, first of all, Santos'
What?
hype was before last season.
Whoa! You got to go back to that one. You don't want Palmer in your midfield.
No.
They want him on the right side. They want him on the
No.
right side.
Yeah, I
you
want him
don't-
on the right side.
No,
as well, to
no.
be
It's
fair.
not right side or left
Depends on
side.
the right, I agree.
I'm not including it in terms of Bruno and Tonali. It's like, well, I'm not going to compare it to Tonali and Palmer. Like, this is what I'm saying. But the Santos hype was before he went on loan to Strasbourg.
I am ignorant. I don't watch him. I told you I didn't watch him.
The
That's
hype-
why I'm
the
not going to
hype-
sit
the
here and
hype of
hype
him-
him.
But the hype of him was before he went on loan to Strasbourg. You know, the hype of him was
We're-
was before that.
Oh, okay. I know. Oh, yes. Because you were sitting down at 3 o'clock in the morning watching Vasco da Gama play football. Yes.
So 1 second.
Oh
so,
my word!
so hold one second. So 1 second. What do you want me to say? He's shit. So a
No,
player.
he's not shit.
So 1
Yes,
second.
we don't
He's not
know.
playing for you.
So 1 second.
I am
1
not
second.
saying say his shit.
1
I am not
second.
saying that.
Okay, let me tell you what you're saying.
I never thought, because to be honest with you, I don't know if he's good or bad. All I'm saying is that we don't know him. Nobody
Okay.
knows who he is.
Mo,
Do you know how many games he
was
played
at
for Vasco
Nottingham
da Gama?
Forest. Mo, he was
Played
at
one
Nottingham
game.
Forest.
Played for-
He was at Forest
One.
23-24. Played 2 games. So he couldn't get in the Forest team.
Vitinha wasn't playing that many games for Wolves, so we can't really use that logic. But now he's
By the way,
best.
I am not saying he's good or
That was only
bad.
last season, not
I
last
say
season, last
I
season
don't
before.
know the guy. I don't know him. So I would rather speak about the players
Don't worry,
I
you'll
know.
in 6 months' time, we'll come back to the stream.
I hope so. I hope so.
No.
'Cause
He's got 2 Brazil
I'm
caps.
rooting for you, Bruce.
Fair play.
I'm rooting for you.
Now the guy's 18.
But it's strange that you didn't talk
21.
about the Caicedo. You
Love
spoke
it.
about
Because we
Andre
know how good,
Santos.
because I don't need to sit here and try convince you of how good Caicedo and Enzo are. If I have to try to do that, then maybe you just need to watch them more. If I want to sit and try to convince you how good Caicedo and Enzo are, it's very normal.
But that's a football debate. That's why
Well, I
we are
mean,
debating.
No, I can try to convince you about Santos.
Not me.
No.
You're not. You're not. trying
No,
to
you-
convince me.
you-
I don't
you-
know the guy. I don't know the guy.
You and Enzo.
Whatever
I mean,
you say,
you said
I don't know the
Enzo
guy.
wasn't good enough for the Premier League. What is this moth want from me, bruv? You said Enzo Fernandez is not good enough for the Premier
He
League.
was too slow for the Prem. There's
Oh,
a
really?
lot of players that prove people wrong.
In his
He was
first
too
6 months,
slow in the
in
beginning.
his first 6 months, you
The
ruled
first,
him out.
no.
completely.
In the first year and 6 months, not 6 months. Huh?
No. No.
In the first 6 months and in the first season, last season, not this past season, season before,
Yeah,
where he played, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Your team, your fans wanted him out, but he came back and he.
I don't know. What idiot wanted? What is Chelsea fan?
A lot of people.
Yeah, the idiot.
Zizo, you literally sat on shows and you told us that Enzo should be dropped.
Well,
you literally told us this.
Any player can be dropped. Doesn't mean he should be sold.
No, but that means he wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
My
my nephew, big up Mazen. Thank you, Mazen. My nephew's young. And he's watching the live, but he's just typing in Arabic.
Big up Mazen.
Big up Mazen. Big up Mazen. He's young, first grade. He's watching the live. Big up Mazen.
It's me.
No
Shukran ya habibi. Shukran ya habibi. Stop swearing. I don't know how he can watch the YouTube. This stream is not made for under 18 years old. He's probably using his dad's phone, by the way. The stream is not made for under 18. I'm going to have a talk with his dad about this. That's a different story. You know what I mean?
Mo's going to tell him off.
Broski, this stream is not made for under 18.
That is jokes, man.
Anyway, we'll see. Listen, the hype, you could call it hype or not, but there's clearly a player in there, because Chelsea fans are even now worried that Santos is going to be sold because he hasn't been given any minutes.
You didn't even mention Lavia, to be fair. Lavia, I mean, he gets bad injuries, but
I don't know who he gets in your team. He's a defensive midfielder. You got another.
Yeah, but we still need him. He might not start. You can't. No one can come in and say, "Yo, I have to start, otherwise I'm leaving." If anyone comes up with that attitude,
well, isn't that what you said? He said.
No. I mean, in terms of he hasn't played anything. He hasn't got even 2 minutes.
Well, he'll probably get games.
He's not going to roll on the bench.
Get injured again.
This is the thing. Like, it's a long season. He's going to be needed. Like, there's no way if he ever thinks for a second that he's not going to be needed, he's going to get good minutes. He will get good minutes. As long as he's patient, he will get good minutes. But in the Champions League,
you're getting rid of Dewsbury Hall, aren't you? Aren't you getting rid of him?
Yeah, man. We haven't got that many midfielders. They're just all very good. You know, in terms of numbers, we haven't got that many. They're just all very good. That's all it is. And we've got about 5 midfielders, and 4 of them can argue, like, say, no, I should be starting. So it's just, we've got good quality there.
I think people are just fixated so much on, like, oh, is this guy going to start? But aren't realizing yet that you need quality on your bench. Like, even if he's not start, like Kai said, for as good as he is, bro, like you still need a competent guy to cover for him for games that he might miss out on. Do you get what I'm saying?
So rotation, like, bro, it's a long. People forget how long this season.
You need 6 plays on the bench. So
but you want squad players, be an 18-year-old and then come in and fill the boots of Casado when needed. There's a lot of pressure on the Premier League.
He's not an 18 years old. Who's that? Andre Santos is 21 years old.
They've got 36 players. Young. They've got cover for every position. They've got 36 players in total.
They don't.
Didn't you sign like this that wonder kid from Ecuador or something as well? Isn't he coming in?
Paez.
Is it Paez?
Paez, yeah.
Paez,
yeah.
Kindred Paez.
What are you going to do with him?
No, he's more of a right winger.
He's more of a right winger problem with about 1 billion players.
He's more of a right winger 10.
That is he.
Okay, let me do this 2 super chats because I want to ask this question before to move on. This is true, K-Mac, but bad season by his standards. That's fair enough. Absolutely.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah,
that's
actually
himself.
great. That's red line fair enough. Why is Santos good? Because, well, other clubs want him. So, like, he must be good. Hasn't watched him at all, but he is my midfielder. So, he's good confidence.
No, Einstein. It's because if a 20-year-old goes to the French league and is up there with the best in the league, and you've got teams and you've got players like Vitinha and Neves in there, then he must be good. You're just using your brain. And you've seen a couple clips of him, and you see the fact that he's playing for Brazil already. And then you see that, yeah, of course, Chelsea see he's untouchable. Well, I mean, the guy, if he's untouchable, he's playing for Brazil already. He's gone in and he's on level with, in terms of stats and in terms of best possession and whatnot. He's up there with Neves and Vitinha and whatnot. Then, of course, he must be bloody good. Doesn't take a rocket.
I'm sorry,
man.
I'm sorry.
You have to watch 100 games to think someone's good.
I'm sorry, but Brazil have got 3 players from Wolves in their starting team now.
Respect Cunha, man.
Nah.
Respect Cunha, man.
Sorry,
Nah.
it's not 36 players. It's 35. Just double check on the transfer market. So it's 35. Sorry,
For what? 35 what?
but it's Chelsea squad. It's 35 players.
Is there a
Yeah.
possibility Chelsea finish above any of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City next season at all?
Nope.
Yeah,
Not Liverpool.
it's football. It's
But they
football,
could
isn't
finish
it?
above
Anything
them.
can happen.
Is that so? Okay.
Anything can happen. Yeah, they can.
The only thing that
we have to see how the window ends.
They can
Yeah,
still
but the
spend
thing is
another
with Chelsea,
500
like-
million. Like they've just sold the women's team to themselves somehow. Like,
That's okay apparently in England.
But the thing is, with Chelsea though, yeah, like they've got players, and they'll always buy players. But the thing that's going to hold them back next season is I always say all the time, is their manager. That's
But I
always
think
the manager.
something dramatic is going to change about Chelsea. By the way, okay, I'm
Yeah,
going
the
to tell you
manager
guys
gets
in a
sacked.
second. No, I'm going to tell you in a second what is going to something dramatic is going to happen. But how do you know he's so good if you haven't seen him? Ziad,
Sorry?
Honestly, he's not going to give up, is he?
What did he say?
but how do you know
Andre
he's good if
Santos,
you
bro.
haven't seen him?
Andre Santos.
Because listen, I'm gonna repeat myself 50 times. How about you research about the player, see what he achieved last season, and who he's up against, and then you'll see for yourself. And I don't try to convince you. I don't like convincing rivals, especially about how
That's
good or bad
what
my play is.
shows are about.
No. I am not here to try to convince you about how good or bad my play is. You're a rival for a reason. That's not my problem. In
yeah,
6 months,
that's a football
second.
debate.
no. In 6 months, Fonzie, we can come back to this, and we'll see what happens.
That was don't use stats though, innit? Like, come on, you're better than that. You know what I'm saying? You have
Bro,
to-
listen. If a midfielder goes into his league,
No, but I hear what you're saying though, innit? But like the thing is with me, yeah, like if it
for
was
midfielder, it's a bit different, Ahmed. For
Okay,
midfielder, it's a bit
tell you,
different. Leading,
obviously
winning back
Santos-
possession and passes and all that. It's different.
And
Because
let me
the
switch
stats and that don't really lie.
I'm gonna
Did
tell you
watch
what is gonna
Mudryk
happen.
before you signed him?
Sorry.
They
Did you
never
say?
did. They never did. They never
did you
did.
say? I didn't
Nobody
hear.
did watch Mudryk. Nobody watched Mudryk. Anyway, he's asking
Did
if
you
you
watch
watched
him
Mudryk.
before you signed him?
Who Santos? No, because he was about
Mudryk.
17.
No,
Mudryk.
Oh, Mudryk. Oh, hell no. Ban that guy, bro.
Guys, a couple of things.
Santos at 20
Guys,
has
let
achieved already
me-
what Mudryk achieved.
This is all over the place. Chelsea are about to actually put Nicolas Jackson on the market, actually, to be sold.
No,
Okay.
we're not.
That yeah, Habibi, that was just reported. Go
Nah,
look
no.
at Fabrizio on his podcast.
That Fabrizio goes left and right, upside down every day, but I don't know what's wrong.
Don't listen
Do
to
you
He
know-
knows
Fabrizio.
Chelsea stuff though. He knows the Chelsea stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
does
but
he?
you get
Wait,
a lot of-
hold on.
you get a
Wait,
lot of
hold
things
on.
wrong.
No,
when
is
it comes
that
to
what
Chelsea.
you were going to say, like in terms of the big change? Because I know,
Yeah,
I know
You know why? You know what is going to happen when they sell him?
what's going to happen.
Fabrizio just said that the deal is dead for Mike Maignan. They're not going for Mike Maignan again. For Chelsea,
Well, 2 minutes ago he said it wasn't dead. So he said he said two opposite things in one day.
no.
listen to
He
Fabrizio,
tweeted.
man.
No, I think
He's a
people
sellout.
have not read what he said. He said Chelsea have not reactivated Mike Maignan, and people
Yeah.
is speaking about him. Right? He's saying it's off. They're not signing Mike Maignan.
Even if
That's
they
what
sell
he's saying.
Jackson, even if they sell Jackson, yeah, they're still going to have the same problem next season. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they can get Eucharist.
Well, again, like they can get
He's got-
Gyökeres,
he's got
and
rejected
they're
Juventus
still going to
and
have the same problem. Like this
Just
is
I thought you said Gyökeres is going to Arsenal. You told us last stream.
He's a bit, bro.
Yeah, but Arsenal don't want him. He actually
Yeah,
rejected
yeah,
everyone to go to Arsenal, and Arsenal are telling him. I actually think what happened is with Arsenal, but that's for a different story. I
But
don't
you,
wanna
you
go to
said
France.
Arsenal is going to buy the two strikers.
I
Yes,
said
that's-
Arsenal might.
They're
I said
gonna buy a
Arsenal
striker.
might.
No. You
They're
didn't
not
use
going to
the
buy
might.
2-9.
Arsenal
They're going to buy a
might.
striker and a winger. Arsenal.
But we'll talk about this as well. So, someone said Fabrizio's on Chelsea payroll.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he is.
He is.
He is.
Bro,
I say you don't
Fabrizio
stuff, he
said-
is.
Fabrizio said, he goes from Chelsea not wanting any goalkeepers because they like their goalkeepers to Chelsea are looking at the goalkeeper market. Which one is it?
Why do
can
you
I ask
think?
you guys for real?
why
What
do
is
you
one
think
point? Like, I want to switch the conversation.
Why do you think he
Who
got
has
like all these
outed about
teenagers
Chelsea,
just
by
to
the
sign?
way, with the Caicedo
Who
deal?
has the most pressure next season?
Arsenal.
yeah,
Even
oh,
if they don't
Arsenal.
sign anyone. Okay,
think it's
even if
Arsenal.
they don't sign players, even if Rodrigo says no,
That's not my problem if they don't sign. It's still their pressure. They
it's
have to
very
win it.
good that you say, it's very good that you said that, Ziad. So it is not your problem that they don't sign. So why aren't Chelsea winning the league after spending that much money?
Because we're not. It's still managers.
Because you are no, but forget the manager. It's a,
You can't forget the
it's
most
not a-
important part. You can't forget.
No,
you
but
can't do-
why is it the rivals' problems that you keep changing the manager then?
No, I'm talking about. Right, they should have won it last season.
Okay, who?
Arsenal should have won it last season.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Even if they don't
But
add anyone or not,
you-
it doesn't change.
Your answer was because Arsenal should be there, right? Why aren't Chelsea there as well? Why aren't you there?
Because it's the manager's
I
second
asked
season.
you, it's the manager. So, okay, so hold on. So if Chelsea buy all these players and you sack Maresca at the end of the season, and you,
Listen,
does it
don't
start
tell me
over?
about Maresca. I wanted to.
Okay, hold on. I'm asking a question. Don't switch it. If you sack Maresca mid-season, does the cycle start over for you? So you keep going and going.
It depends who you bring in.
But it doesn't matter. I don't care. Okay, I am not recruiting for Chelsea. It's not Mo and it's not Ziad. Rivals. Should people give Chelsea a leeway because if they sack the manager and get a new manager, and they keep buying players, does the project restart every time?
No,
Listen, look at this. Hear me out. Use team and new players more. Fantastic. So if Arsenal this window can't get a striker, will you give them leeways? Okay,
Why can't they get a striker?
Because, for example, they couldn't agree the fees. Why can't you get a striker? Why don't you buy Osimhen? Why can't Chelsea? Why can't
we signed a striker?
you signed Delap? So why isn't why instead of signing Delap, why didn't you go and sign Osimhen, for example? Chelsea.
Because
Arsenal probably wants loads of money, innit?
And Osimhen's
Okay,
wages
okay,
are
okay.
really not.
What if Arsenal don't want to pay Victor? Literally, I'm playing devil's advocate here, right? This is Chubi Ryan's job.
Go on.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I can play devil's advocate for any club, but hear me out here.
Let me just
What if
correct myself.
Arsenal
I think
don't
everyone
wanna-
is under
hold on.
pressure. Everyone.
Hold on. Okay, fair enough. If Arsenal can't pay the money for Victor Gyökeres and they don't get Victor Gyökeres and they get a young striker like Cisco and Rodrigo doesn't leave, right? And they go and get a young winger, does that give them leeway? Yes or
No,
no?
because they've got a better team now than they did last year.
You got a better team now than they did last year.
Well, you
If
just
they
said
buy
they
young,
signed- You just said
You-
signed Sesko. So Sesko walked into
Sesko.
their team. So that's it. They've got a better team.
Cisco doesn't even start for them. They say they
But
can't
Havertz
have
is better than
him.
Sesko.
Sesko doesn't even believe he doesn't even believe in himself to push Havertz out of the 11.
No, but he's still better than Havertz.
So
He
hold
doesn't
on. So
believe in it, though.
Chelsea
Play
spend that
himself.
much money
No matter what,
and they
no
keep
matter what we
selling
say,
players and buying players, Chelsea, but there's no pressure on Chelsea. But because
It's not about there's no pressure. You said who's got the most pressure.
is there any pressure on Chelsea to win the league next season?
There's
Any?
always pressure. There's
No.
always pressure on Chelsea to win the league.
No, there isn't.
If you ask 100% of the Chelsea fans, everyone will tell you there is zero pressure on us to win the league.
No, it's waffle.
I'm not.
They haven't got
There
any
is
pressure.
zero pressure on you.
Well, so what did you
Win
do?
the
Still
league.
for the season and get top 4, or what did you do?
You just
No.
want to
I am telling you now, no Chelsea fan. Okay, the word pressure means that if you don't win it, it's a failure. Like if Liverpool, Mac, if you don't win the league, is it a failure for you next season?
Can I just ask one question? Yeah, just before you ask.
Give me,
Matt.
Matthias, let me just ask this question.
I didn't hear that. You glitched. Go on.
If you don't win the league next season, is that a failure for Liverpool?
Yeah.
Matthias, if you don't win the league, is that a failure?
Yeah.
Ryan, if you don't win the league, is that a failure?
Yep.
Ahmed, if you don't win the league, is that a failure? Absolutely. No, it's not a failure for Man United because Man United are not expected to win the league. I'm not making fun of Man United, but this is where Man United are now.
You just wear those.
And
Okay.
And if you ask any Chelsea fan, if you don't win the league, is that a failure? 100% will tell you no. If we're comfortable in top 4, then we're fine.
Can I just ask you, when was the last time Chelsea won the league? Was it under Conte? 2016?
16, 17 season.
Yeah,
16, 17 season.
You're going almost like 10 years without a title. There has to be pressure in there. There has to.
Every Chelsea fan wants
10
to
years
win the
there
league.
isn't.
Which?
The longer you don't win the league or you don't challenge, the less pressure. That's just natural. It just
No, but
naturally
it's-
happens
it's-
like that.
we talk
Shall I
about
tell you why
Chelsea.
they should be?
I'm
Shall
gonna
we
be
We're
honest,
talking
if
about
you ask me
Chelsea
that
with the amount of
question-
money that they've spent
Wait.
to be
That
9
doesn't
years without a
matter.
league title.
But
to
they're
be
not
9 years
spending
without a
money
league
to win the
title, there has
league.
to be pressure to
Zizou,
win
can
the
you get
league.
him? Is there pressure on Chelsea to win the league?
Yeah, yeah.
In what
there is.
sense? In what sense?
They're not
There is,
spending
because
money
you
to
haven't
win the
won the
league.
The
league in
reason,
9
okay, I'm
years.
going to tell you something. My point is one of the targets at least to try to win the league, and if you don't win it, it's a failure. That is what is called there is pressure.
You should always
That
go to the
pressure-
league, yeah.
No,
You should
the
always
reason
go
why
for
they
the
change
league.
your
You
managers
can't-
constantly
but you
is
can't
because they
expect
fail
Chelsea
in
to
the
win the
league.
league.
That's why you change your manager all
By
the
the way,
time, because you're
the
not winning
word
the league.
pressure means that I'm expecting that there is a possibility that a team wins the league, right?
Based off what?
Otherwise, it's not a failure. I don't. No, I'm asking you. I'm
What do you
giving
mean?
you the
don't know.
definition.
You expect someone to do something based off something. We
I
expect
don't expect Chelsea to
we
win the
expect-
league,
Okay,
Wait.
خلاص then. Conversation's
Wait.
dead.
but there is
They're
no.
changing-
So why
they're changing
nobody
the
is asking?
manager. Chelsea's changing the manager not because they haven't won the league, it's because they haven't improved. And under Maresca, they've improved. Like they have. They've
Why
just won a
there is
trophy.
more
What
pressure
do you
on
mean they've
They've got
Arsenal?
Champions League. Like,
Okay,
What do you mean
don't
they've
forget-
improved? Frank Lampard.
More,
gets
don't
top-
ask stupid
Frank
questions.
Lampard got top 4.
No, it's not a stupid question. You don't want to even
Lampard
argue
got top
about it.
4.
Yeah, but that
What do you
wasn't
mean?
under this
Guys,
management.
hold on, everyone. You don't want to
That
even
wasn't under
argue
this
about it. I
management.
told you, if
It's not
any
the same.
team, hold on, Matthias, if any team, let me just finish this before we move on to actually the teams that have pressure to win the league. If any team in the league, and especially a big team, spend that much money, buy that many players, and they are close to the top. The reason why I have to say this, the reason why I have to have that caveat, because Man United spend more than most, but they're 15th. So I have to have that caveat in. Chelsea are close to the top. They finished 5 points behind the second team, Arsenal, right? Chelsea still went and bought Delap. They're going to buy a center back. They're going for a winger. They might even go for a goalkeeper. They got Andre Santos, the best young midfielder in League A. You know what I mean? They got that. So realistically, there should be pressure on Chelsea to try to win the league. Hold on.
Well,
That is just logic, correct?
well, it depends who
Yeah.
we sign. But there's a lot of hypothetical in what you just said. If we do this,
I
if we
lit-
do that.
So if you sign a center back and a goalkeeper, you're expecting your team to go
I'm sorry,
challenge
like,
for the title.
you're not signing
No.
Liam Delap to challenge for the
No.
league. I'm sorry. You're just
No.
not. You're just not.
No. We need two. We need more than just a goalkeeper. and a second.
What's the aim for Chelsea then if he's not challenged for the league? What are they doing then?
For me, it'll be winning the cups and getting top 4, but not scraping top 4, but winning the cups and getting top 4.
Listen,
So you can still finish top 4 and challenge the league.
But this is what
And
I mean.
challenge
This
for the league,
challenge
because you can finish, even if you finish top 4, you can still 2 points off top.
But that's what I mean. This challenging and do that is different. You want to go and challenge and be 1 point off, but finish 4th.
So,
Or you're gonna go and be 20 points
you
off.
cannot say I'm going to spend 600 million to Summers and say is to win the cup.
But it's not only about
What are we
money because
doing
everyone spends money. It's not only about the money. The manager is the most important part. Everyone's got
Yeah,
money.
but you
Everyone
shouldn't care
spends money.
whatever you shouldn't care what's happening. Like Arsenal is not he's not spending money and have to worry about what Newcastle are doing.
Arsenal
to win
spent
the
70 million
title.
on our donkey and gave him 300 grand a week. And this is going to be his 3rd season and they haven't achieved anything with him.
Can I
Chelsea-
ask something? Can
Wait,
I?
just
Go ahead,
listen.
Ahmed. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Ahmed, before I-
Chelsea, listen, Chelsea, for what they've won in the past, they should automatically have pressure to win the title, innit? Whether they're going to do it or not is a different thing. I remember last season, early on in the season, around December, November,
Blame
there
it
was
to
around-
Bowley.
there was around second, yeah. There was around second, and people were, and Chelsea don't have a rubbish team. They've got some good players in there. The only area that they lack in is obviously the goalkeeper and the centre backs, right? But in all other aspects on that pitch, they've got some really good players. They should be challenging for the title, right? They should be next season. This whole top 4 and a trophy, with obviously how much you've spent, shouldn't be that shouldn't be the target. You lot should be
Project
actually
Youth
challenging
and
for the
all that.
title. And
It's all
with,
about crap, bro.
Arsenal, no, and in terms of who's got the most pressure, I think they've all got pressure in it. Arsenal probably have the most because they've not won the title in 5 years. I mean, they always say they're going to win it.
No,
They haven't won
21
the title
years,
in
not 5
20
years.
years.
21
years.
21 years.
21
Huh?
years.
22.
Sorry,
Haven't won
yeah.
the title in 21
22
years.
years now.
Yeah, in 21. Listen,
haven't
I
won
told
the
you,
trophy
I told you
in
the
5.
heat is getting to me. Yeah, I told you the heat is getting
Yeah.
to me. Yeah. In 21
Yeah.
years.
Looks
They-
like
they- yeah. And what was I going to
No,
say?
wait.
With Man City, Man City obviously have history of winning it so many times recently, and they've proven it. They've proven it with the players that they signed, with the manager that they've got, that they can get the job done, even if they have one-off season, right? With Liverpool, obviously they've won it, right? And no one really expected it. But next season, with how much they spent on Wirtz, and obviously they've replaced their fullbacks with Kerkez and Frimpong. With that amount of money, there's pressure to retain the title. So of course, all these teams have pressure in it. But with Chelsea, like, the only reason that they don't think that they're going to win the title is just down to like who they have in charge as the coach. That's what they're lacking. So
I'll tell you who has the most pressure out of anybody.
Kai Wirtz. I was going to say
I think it's Man City. I think it's Man City. I really do.
Why Man City have the best?
Why the Man City have the most? It's the only season where Pep hasn't won a trophy. Like nothing. Like
no, he didn't win in his first season.
He just spent over 400
He didn't win
million.
in his first season.
He just spent over 400 million in the last 2 windows. Like
Pep Guardiola is never going to have pressure because he won a forfeit and a treble with this team. He's never going to have pressure.
I disagree.
Well, that shows you the standards, though, innit? That shows you the standards that he must. You
guys know what pressure is. He's not in the hot seat. Pep Guardiola will never be in the hot seat, even for the media. Like Arteta might not be in the hot seat for the fans in the stadium or the cronkies, but he will be in the hot seat for the media. Pep Guardiola is not going to be in the hot seat from the fans. He's not going to be in the hot seats from the owners and the people that own the club, and he's never going to be in the hot seat from the fans in the stadium or even the fans online. That means there is zero pressure on him. If Pep Guardiola finished third, people will mock him for a bit and you'll forget about it and go about their life because he won 4 league titles already in a row, apart from the 2 he won before. He won a treble in the Champions League for the first time for Man City. No one is going to sit down and question, should Pep Guardiola be sacked? That is pressure. No one is going to say that.
You're talking about the year just gone.
No one have said that Pep Guardiola should be sacked. No one has said that. There should be questions, maybe, but no one has said he should.
Yeah, people were questioning, but I don't think he would because he got a 2-year deal mid-season around November or December. So it was quite clear that even that he got given the keys to rebuild the entire squad, and the rebuild will take at least next summer because there's still areas where we need to address. We need to get another goalkeeper in. We still need to get a right back, and then we need to add a bit more firepower up front. But we won't get these 3 positions sorted even this summer. So, listen, there's pressure on everyone, if we were being honest, and there's pressure on Man City.
But there's not equal.
Yeah, but the pressure Pep Guardiola has these seasons, and the pressure is coming from the fans, is we need to improve our performances. We need to improve our style of play because we didn't play well last season. The performance was really poor. The style of play, it was awful. That's the pressure that he has this season. Just go back to basics and bring on the exciting attacking football that we used to. I think that's the pressure that he has.
There's no. I think it has to. For me, as at the current moment, it's Arsenal. They have the most pressure to win the league next season. There is no other way around it. Especially with the news that Liverpool are not bringing Isak, so there is
not just the league. I think any trophy that they have to try to have one trophy.
If Arsenal win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, and they don't win the league or the Champions League, people are going to ask for his head.
I don't think
people are going to say this team has failed.
I don't think they will.
People are going to say he's failed.
They will because.
So you think he's failed? If he won the FA Cup this season, has he failed?
No, for me, no.
For me,
so you know how is it a no?
He won a cup. He won a trophy.
So
every team.
Hold on. Would you accept a manager if Pep leaves tomorrow and there is a manager at your club that stays 5 years, wins 2 cups? is that success for you?
I don't think they would stay 5 years. 2 years without trophy, they would sack him. A Man City.
Okay.
I don't think they would stay
For-
5 years. But
Which is
For
why I said,
Arsenal.
Man City are the most under pressure.
No, but I don't think
I'll go
Pep
2
Guardiola
years
is
with
going to be
nothing.
under pressure.
Can't
It's
go-
not
can't go
enough.
2 years
Having
with
the
nothing
cup
at
is
Man
not
City.
enough. I am telling you, if Maresca by the next season won the cup, people are going to say it's not enough. Are you going to win us the
Maresca's
league
gone
or the
till Christmas.
Champions League? Not this season, the year after. Like next season, maybe he's fine winning
No,
an FA
no.
Cup.
Next season he's going till Christmas.
To do
For
what?
me, anyway. For me,
To do what?
something. Just show me something.
you can't win anything.
He doesn't have to win anything, but he has to
Christmas.
show me something by Christmas.
You can't
Oh,
win
you
anything
mean-
in Christmas, you know that.
I mean,
Last Christmas,
you
were
expect
in
to be
second
challenged
place,
for the
weren't you?
league by Christmas.
No, no,
like,
but I
around
expect
Christmas time.
to
When
see
you-
something, not what we're seeing right now,
Wasn't-
or what we saw last season.
Wasn't the Christmas just gone? You were challenging with us.
Yeah, they were.
So we'll see what happens this
You
Christmas.
were, weren't you?
Yeah,
The same again then.
and they had the easiest
Hopefully.
fixtures.
We'll see how
Yeah,
it
they
goes,
did.
to be honest.
Yeah, they did.
But also this year, you've got the Champions League format for Chelsea. You need experience. I've said it for a while. Chelsea, they need experience in that squad. Project Youth is only going to get you so far, and especially this new format of the league phase, you'll be lucky if you're going to the way your squad currently is. You'll be lucky to qualify in the playoff setup. For
But
the
that
next
Champions League format is too confusing, man. I don't know what's going on that format.
There's nothing there. You play 8 games, highest point goes through. That's it. It's simple as that.
top 8 go through
It's
it all
not
day.
confusing.
The rest of you got all bad.
It's
Doesn't matter
not
if you finish
confusing
top
at all.
now.
It
Doesn't
doesn't
matter if you
matter.
finish top, you still end up with PSG.
Oh,
No, that's if you. It depends on PG. But listen, people. Can we get 4 more likes before we end the show? I'm not gonna say for this an hour now. Good hour show is good, to be honest with you. Ziad's Zone channel is in the description. He goes live probably every day in the morning, 10 a.m. UK, if I'm not mistaken. Goes live, go and support Zizou, AA United, Mr. Arsenal podcast, and K Maku is live at 1:30. No, sorry. 11:30 UK time, talking about the swap between Isak and between Osimhen and
Osimhen.
but listen, before you leave, guys, don't leave the stream. Hit that like button for you go. This will take you to Osam, where he has a whole panel talking about the transfers and everything. Hit that like button before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you, everyone. For the last super chat, Chelsea are not under pressure because they wasted money and are the worst team pound for pound. Arsenal are under pressure because they are better. Fair enough. If you think pound for pound, Chelsea are better. Arsenal are better than Chelsea. That's fine then. That's your opinion. A lot of people think that Chelsea have a better team than Arsenal. Just to be honest with you guys.
But
You like Chelsea so
I've
much,
watched
don't
the
you?
chat tonight, everyone in the chat's going Chelsea above Arsenal, unless Arsenal
Yeah,
gets
everyone thinks
Come
that
on,
Chelsea
that makes
will
sense.
No.
It's the social
Not
media.
with Arsenal
thinks that
fans.
Chelsea will finish above Arsenal. Everyone.
Not with Arsenal.
Cheers,
fans.
guys. Hit that like button. Thank you, everyone that supported the channel since Super Chat. Appreciate you all. I will see you guys soon. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. This will take you to Assam. We're out of here.